Hello, I'm Cass. Welcome back to my channel. If my voice sounds scratchy, I do apologize. I've been sick on and off for like a week and I lost my voice for 2 days straight, so I still don't have my voice like completely back, hence like why it's a little scratchy. But I just could not delay this video anymore because I really wanted to talk y'all through my reading plans, setting up my reading journal, just a nice monthly reset. This was supposed to happen at like the beginning of June. It did not happen at the beginning of June, clearly. May was a really rough month and I was just really excited for a fresh month, a fresh start. And then I have just not had a very good start to June. So that's like my preface about like why I've just been kind of a mess for the past couple weeks, why this video is late. But you know what? Every day is a new day, and today is the day that I will be talking through my TBR and setting up my journal. My TBR, I usually try to like start planning for about like the middle of the month, the previous month, just for I have an idea of books I need to grab from the library, books that I want to buy, that sort of thing. And so I set that, and then by the time the end of May came, literally like none of the books except for like 3 on this TBR I felt like reading. So I did almost an entire do-over of what my TBR looks like. It's very, very different from what I'm expecting, but obviously I'm going to talk y'all through it. I am really, really excited though. Obviously it's nearly summer and that is super, I don't know if I want to say exciting because summer's not my favorite season, but the quicker we get to summer means the quicker we get to fall. And fall's my favorite season, so, you know, we gotta get through summer to get to the good stuff. So, my reading in summer is always a little interesting because I never really feel like reading in the summer. Usually it's just too bloody hot, I got too much going on, and nothing really works out. So, I kind of have gotten off my high fantasy kick. I enjoyed that for the past couple of months, and we are on the fun, light, fluffy, summery books. Some fun romances are on this list. I also have some sci-fi on here. I wanted simple reads this month because, like I mentioned, May was not very good and I just need some fun things. Heavy high fantasy is not the vibe right now. So let me just walk you through my TBR. Starting with Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. Now, I have had my eye on this book for a while. I saw Allison Pages mention it sometime last year in one of her vlogs, and she absolutely loved it. And I know I'm gonna be a sucker for it because it is a small-time romance. I think the premise that I remember is she like breaks down the side of the road in this tiny town and he comes to her rescue. But she's like a big city corporate girly and he's just like a small town farm boy. And they have to figure out how they each fit into their own halves of their world, which just sounds delightful. I love a small town romance. And I think this will just be really fun. I haven't read anything by Abby Jimenez, but you know, my bestie Katie, she recently read this trilogy and absolutely loved it, and I now want to partake. I feel like these also have been just all over the book community. People have really been gobbling them up, so I'm happy to be able to join the hype train, I suppose. And with that, I also have Yours Truly, which is the second book in the duology. I don't really remember what the premise of this one was. I just know it's the second book in the Part of Your World trilogy, but they all follow different characters. It says, a novel of terrible first impressions, hilarious second chances, and the joy in finding your perfect match. Whatever that means. And then this is the one that I really want to get to. I was originally going to read them out of order, but I already knew I wanted to pick up Part of Your World, and I'm like, why don't I just read the trilogy in order and then save the best for last? Because I have heard nothing but fabulous things about Just for the Summer. Obviously, it's very summery, love to see it. Now this one, both these characters are convinced that they have this curse where anytime they date someone, they break up and their like ex finds like their soulmate essentially, and they both find out that they both have this curse, so they decide to date each other. That way, hopefully when they break up, they can each find their perfect match. It's like a little bit of fake dating, but what I've heard is it's like very obvious that they fall for each other so quickly. And I'm just really excited. I'm actually going to be annotating, definitely Just for the Summer, probably Part of Your World. I'm not sure about Yours Truly. I haven't heard anything about this book actually. I don't know if people love it, people hate it. I just heard things about Part of Your World and Just for the Summer, but I love the colors, so I'm excited to have some tabs to annotate. I haven't annotated in literally forever. I feel like it's been over a year since I've touched my tabs, and I feel like it's time. It's time to bring them back out. I'm very excited. Now these books actually, I'm planning on reading all like in one vlog because I'm visiting Katie very, very soon, and I thought it'd be fun to have like summery romance reading vlog with her. I'm so very excited. So these are the first 3 books on my TBR. Another fun romance, a very highly anticipated romance, is Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. I love Ali Hazelwood's books. I love the STEM romances. It just is so fun. I am so delighted that this is finally coming out. I hope it's as good as her other ones. Honestly, I hope it's as good or better than Love Theoretically, because that's where the bar is at right now. I recently reread Love Theoretically, and that is easily my favorite Ali Hazelwood book, so I'm hoping it's a step above, because I recently read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and that became my new favorite Emily Henry book. I'm like, can we have the same energy going with Ali Hazelwood as well, please? That would be wonderful. I'm really excited about this. This might be another one that I might potentially annotate. I don't know, the colors are so fun. I'm like, ooh, the tabs would look stellar on them. So this book looks like it really focuses on company politics, some sort of like hostile takeover with our main characters on like opposite sides. They're apparently having like a no strings attached relationship, if you could even call it that. And the deadline is whoever's company wins, you know, that's like the end of their little like romance. Obviously, more drama has to ensue, and I'm excited to see what Ali Hazelwood does with it. Like I said, it is one of my most highly anticipated books. It is on my 2024 TBR, and I always love checking books off my 2024 TBR because I feel so accomplished. That's coming out very, very soon. In fact, the day this comes out, it will be released. So yay, confetti balloons, how exciting. But obviously I'm gonna wait until I can buy it when I'm with Katie, if I can read it in that vlog. I'm so bloody excited. So those are all my romance books on my TBR. However, if any more catch my eye throughout the month, I would not be opposed to picking them up. If y'all have any suggestions for romance books, let me know. That is just the mood I'm in. I want all the contemporary romances. Bring them my way. The next book I'm going to talk about is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. Now this is actually my Patreon book club buddy read. I'm very excited about this book. It seems delightful. It's about 350 pages, and the concept honestly sounds so good. Finding the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her mother. The poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister. When Ning hears of a competition to find the kingdom's greatest Shangshi, master of the ancient and magical art of tea making, she travels to the imperial city to compete. The winner will receive a favor from the princess, which may be Ning's only chance to save her sister's life. But between backstabbing competitors, the bloody court politics, and a mysterious handsome boy with a shocking secret, Ning might actually be the one in more danger. The cover is absolutely stunning. Like, I'm really obsessed with this book. I cannot wait to make the exclusive spoiler-filled vlog for my patrons and just read this along with my patrons and see what everybody thinks. It's YA fantasy. It sounds like it's got a little bit of a romance sprinkled in there, and just the concept of magical tea and the fact that you can accidentally brew poison into a tea magically. The concept sounds just so intriguing, and I think it'll be a fun time, maybe a little sad in the beginning, but sounds like my kind of book, sounds right up my alley. So another banger that my patrons picked, so shout out to y'all. You know, A Will of the Many didn't win like I wanted it to, but like, this was a good choice. Like, they've got taste. Next I have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Now I read this August of 2022. This was the second ever book in the Wyverns and Words book club, and I am part of Katie's Patreon, and she has decided that for her year anniversary of running her little book club, she would re-pick up Strange the Dreamer and reread it. Very excited. Look at that. Oh look, I put this is an August book club pick for Wyverns and Words. That is so cute. I love this page so much. Now when I first read this book, I think I wasn't expecting such like purple prose, and it wasn't really my favorite. However, I'm going into this with not necessarily reduced expectations, but I've kind of adjusted my expectations of what this book is. Obviously, I've read it already and I remember most of what goes on. However, I really want to just enjoy the writing this time and not rush through it for the book club and just take my time and really dive back into the story. This is one of Katie's like favorite books ever. So I feel like I need to give it another shot. I did rate it like a 3.75, I want to say, and I did read Muse of Nightmares and enjoy that one a little more. So I'm hoping that during this reread, I will absolutely adore it. But I thought I would try to join Katie in her reread. This isn't like a guaranteed read, but I'm hoping that I can get to it this month because I think it'd be fun to partake with Katie's Patreons. The next book that I put on my TBR is The Mysterious Society of a Lady Scoundrel by India Holton. This is actually a book one of my patrons recommended to me when I was asking for like fun like summary type readings, and Katie's actually read this and she said that I would probably really enjoy it if I jived with the humor, because if I don't jive with the humor, the book is just going to be way too over the top. However, It just seems like such a delightful, fun, silly, goofy time, if you will. The blurb for this book is absolutely all over the place. So we have a Victorian lady who's also a thief, and then we have a gentleman who's an assassin who is absolutely smitten with our main character Celia, but has been tasked to like kill her. And it looks like they have to actually team up to save the Wisteria Society, whatever that is. So I'm excited to see what I think about this. Like I said, it just seems like a goofy, over-the-top, fun time. And I really hope that I do jive with India Holton's humor, because I think this could be such a fun read. Like I've said multiple times, but it's giving the summer vibes. So I thought I'd go ahead and throw it on my TBR. Next is actually another recommendation from one of my patrons, and it's Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dineman. This has been a book that Daniel Green has recommended for a long time on his channel. I feel like I hear him talk about it all the time. So it's been on my radar, but I finally sat down and read the blurb of what this book is about. It is so funny. I have it pulled up on my computer. I'm gonna read like the first like sentence to you. It's so funny. A man, his ex-girlfriend's cat, a sadistic game show unlike anything in the universe, a dungeon crawl where survival depends on killing your prey in the most entertaining way possible. I'm sold. I'm hoping I can nag this from the library and give it a read. It just sounds so goofy. And like I said, I'm really looking for just fun, silly books this summer that aren't gonna just suck away my energy and think that I can read when I have low energy, because work has been calling me so much and I've been working so many like overnight flights or super late flights or just having really long days. And I keep bringing these heavy fantasy books with me and I like crack them open and I'm like, yeah, these words are not gonna be like sucked into my head whatsoever. So I'm just looking for some easier books to read, especially during the hectic summer for my job. So Dungeon Crawler Carl just sounds so ridiculous that surely it has to be such a delightful time. The last two are actually sci-fi books, and it'll depend on my mood, because my sci-fi books I have to read when I'm in a very certain mood. But I thought that potentially I could be. The first one is Shadow of Hedgeman by Orson Scott Card. This is the second book in the Ender's Shadow quartet, and I read Ender's Shadow last year. Blew me out of the water. Now this is actually like a series that follows Bean, which is a character in Ender's Game, but like one of the side characters, so we actually get to see his storyline and his point of view. I did try to continue on Ender's Game in that quartet, but after I read Speaker for the Dead, I just didn't really like the direction that the story went. It didn't really interest me. That's not the sci-fi that I typically enjoy. However, this one I feel like I'm gonna enjoy. So this takes place after the events of Ender's Game. They defeat the alien race and all these kids that were basically sent up to space, all these like super smart kids that were in space like being trained to be like battle commanders at like 6 to 11 years old, basically. I don't remember the exact age range, but these are like children. They are now potential political weapons for people down on Earth. So a lot of people, I think they start getting like, yeah, they start getting kidnapped, and only Bean, it says, escapes and ends up teaming up with Ender's brother Peter. I think I'm gonna love this book. I really hope I love this book, and I want to read this when I'm in the mood for it because I know I'm gonna love it, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. I really do enjoy Orson Scott Card's writing in terms of how he does his sci-fi. I feel like there's so many elements that are just like mind-boggling that I just can't wait to get into. I also love a good mass market science fiction. Don't know what it's about, but I love reading my science fictions in the little tiny mass market paperbacks. They're so cute and transportable. Love to see it. So I really want to pick up this book pretty soon here. Sometime in this month, obviously. It's on my TBR. And then the other sci-fi book that I have is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I read Red Rising last December, and I've actually been dying to finish off the series because I really loved it. And I started Golden Sun and I think I got about like 50 or so pages in, but then it was due at the library and I was moving across the country, so it was a whole thing and it just kind of fell to the wayside. And recently I've just really had the urge to finish the series and like continue reading it. So I went ahead and I picked up Golden Sun, another sci-fi, the second book in the Red Rising trilogy. I think I'm gonna love it. I don't know why I wouldn't love it. This does take place, I was gonna say it takes place after the events of Red Rising, but like obviously. But I think there's like a little bit of a time jump. I could be wrong, but I think there is like a slight time jump at the beginning of this book. I'm excited to see where the story takes us. I've heard nothing but good things about this trilogy, so I'm excited to finally get to it, obviously. So I put it on my TBR. So these are the books plus the other 3 that I don't quite have copies of yet. These are the books that I want to pick up in June. Very excited about all of them, obviously. Now it is my favorite moments of these reset videos, and that is setting up my reading journal. Very excited about the sticker sheets that I have chosen out for this month. I think is going to be spectacular. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start setting up my journal. I hope you are as obsessed with this as I am. Are you kidding me? I love it so much. I love the colors. These stickers are phenomenal. Ugh. I am quite pleased with how my June journal setup turned out. I hope that you enjoyed watching me set it up. I had so much fun. So much fun setting this up. It was honestly one of my favorites in terms of just like getting in the headspace to journal, and just the silence that filled my head as I was journaling was spectacular. I loved it so much. Anyways, that is the end of this reset. I have nothing else to do for this month. I actually cleaned my house yesterday. That felt very reset-y, but we're like 10 days into the month. But like I said, I've just been sick on and off for like a week. So I've just really been trying to slow down, to rest, and also catch up on everything that I keep falling behind on. So it's a never-ending battle. I'm trying my best. But I want to give a big shout out to my lovely Patreons. If you're ever looking for some exclusive content from me, that is the place to get it all. We have a monthly buddy read, exclusive videos, a quarterly read-a-thon. It is just so fun over there, and I love reading and chatting with everyone. So thank you, of course, for the support, and thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Toodles!